If this reading has landed on your For You page today, you could be any zodiac sign, but you need to know that against all odds, everything actually works out for you in some sort of situation. Now, keyword against all odds. It feels like in this situation, there are maybe some things, some energies, some people against you. You know, we do have justice here. So it could even involve legal matters like court. It says justice. So it could be spiritual court, could be legal matters, legal papers. It does say divorce. We do have terms: working out, negotiating, pursuit, chasing, hunting down, resilient, and then hoping, expecting, faith, manifesting. All right, so there's a little bit of the unknown in some sort of situation for you, and it has to do either like with spiritual court, you know, making a decision, or actual court matters. But what you need to know is actually everything does work out. All right, so in some sort of situation where you're worried, it really does work out. Now, if you would like a personal tarot reading, a private one-on-one session with me, Akashic Records, or to join our Master Key, Mastermind, check out the box below and the pinned comment. It does have everything that you will need. All right, now what do we have for the Lux Collective today? Why do we have justice, legal matters, terms, pursuit, and hoping? Interesting, we have the light and the dark here. In some sort of situation of justice, of legal matters in some way, shape, or form, there's a need for you to like own or integrate the shadow. Because we have Queen of the Light, but then we have the Shadow King or Queen here. Perception. Yeah, where for some of you, you perhaps, you're maybe someone who doesn't even want conflict. Yeah, conflict. And I was going to say something else, but somebody who maybe doesn't even want conflict. There's something, though, about perception here. Why perception and acquiring knowledge? Something's happening according to divine order, to natural law. Now, this could very much be spiritual court. It does not have to be court. Something's going to work out due to divine order, natural law. Say, even if you are in a court situation, you're going by God's law, by spiritual court, okay? There's definitely a justice here. There's definitely some sort of spiritual court that's happening here. Expecting, faith, manifesting, and then we do have pursuit here. Something's going to work out for you due to divine favor, due to God's will, due to divine order. All right, so what do we have here for the Lux Collective on justice, legal matters, terms, pursuit, hoping? Why do we have hoping, faith, expecting, pursuit, justice, working out? Why do we have justice? Why Page of Pentacles in reverse for justice, working out, pursuit, expecting, faith, manifesting? Why Page of Pentacles in reverse and the Queen of Pentacles for justice, faith, working out? Why the Page of Swords here for, we're actually going to start with the Page of Pentacles in reverse. Why the Page of Pentacles in reverse for justice, terms, pursuit, and hoping? Look at the Justice card. There's something here when it comes to money, wealth, and prosperity. Okay, in the past, there definitely was a financial loss in some way, shape, or form. Why Page of Pentacles in reverse and justice? Due to sacrifice, due to passivity. Some of you may have been passive in a situation. For some of you, the let them theory, but not even the let them theory. Somebody did you wrong in finances, but there is something here about defending yourself or getting justice. This was not the actual justice ruling. This was not cosmic order. This could also be for those of you who are in some sort of legal situation, you know, where there's spiritual court. You know, why Page of Pentacles in reverse, justice, and the Hangman? Yeah, and then why the Justice card here? Something was cut out. Why the Queen of Pentacles here? Why the Queen of Pentacles? For justice, terms, pursuit, and hoping. For some of you, you need to hear these words right now. 5 of Cups in reverse, which means that you're getting justice. It's also joy and happiness. It's clearing out grief. For some of you, you did not get worldly, material, maybe court justice, like the actual court systems. You didn't get it there. You're going to get it another way. And that is exactly what you need to know. You have won in spiritual court. Perception, the shadow king or queen. But here's the thing about the shadow king or queen. Say you're in a court, like an actual court situation. I won, over the collective. That's what this person's doing to you. Because to be quite honest, it did not go in your favor in the material and earthly realm, but it did in the spiritual. And that's what you need to know. Queen of Pentacles, the Ace of Swords over here. You have actually won spiritual court. Your judgment, your justice comes from, say, cosmic law, from God, whatever. It's not to say that those things don't exist. Say you got a ruling against you in some way, shape, or form, and a financial loss against you. You got financially blessed right after. Spiritual court went in your favor here. For some of you, rather, have hope, faith, trust. What you manifested is coming in, but part of it is understanding ancient law, understanding your birthright, understanding your soul authority. The shadow king or queen. You go by natural law. You don't go by, and that's what I'm seeing here, where God is your judge in this reading. And I will say something did not go in your way in your favor in some way, shape, or form. And then it spiritually went in your favor. For some of you, this would look like a ruling that doesn't go in your favor, a financial loss, and then boom, you get a big financial win or gain in another way, shape, or form. Why the Page of Swords here? Why the Page of Swords here for justice, terms, pursuit, and hoping? You won in spiritual court. This person did not actually, say win. Not that anyone's winning or losing either. But what I'm seeing here is a physical court, something, say it seemed like it went in someone's favor because it was a negative change in your life. And it's the kind of thing where like the person thought that it went in their favor. God blessed you right after, though, in a bigger way than you would have even gotten from this. Why 6 of Swords with the Page of Swords for justice, terms, hoping? Whoa. We have the 10 of Cups here. You're getting your dream life and you're getting the money, wealth, and prosperity. And everything that's in alignment with your truth is going to manifest. For some of you, you need to have hope, faith, and trust because it seems like, again, past, present, or future, this reading is, and it's general and timeless for all zodiac signs. I'm going to be really honest, though. In a situation, past, present, or future, a court ruling, something did not go in your favor. Don't question God. Is what's coming through in this reading. Just because you see something happen, don't question God. You do have hoping, expecting, faith, and manifesting. Spiritual court did go in your favor. The earthly material, it matters, but God is your judge. And whatever loss you experienced from this, you actually up level in your life. So say, for example, say something very simple, right? Maybe like a ticket, right? A parking ticket. Nope, you actually have to pay that $200 parking ticket. And then you got $2,000 like next week, the day after, or this or that. So it's like, well, it's okay. That's like what I'm seeing in this reading. With the Shadow King or Queen, you're being asked to understand in a situation where it feels like you got injustice. No, you didn't. Ancient law, you actually got justice. You got spiritual, you won in spiritual court. if that resonates with you. Six of Swords, the Page of Swords, the 10 of Cups. You're going to be very taken care of. You're going to be happy. You're going to move forward. Here with the 10 of Cups, this is a whole lot of joy and happiness. You know, I'm also hearing the words, do not allow people or this situation to live in your mind rent-free. Don't allow that. Six of Swords here, 10 of Cups, and the Page of Swords. You know, your life is better afterwards. Money, wealth, and prosperity is coming in for you. That is true. All of this energy is alchemizing to the new for you. All right. For some of you, there could also be maybe some travel that's coming up. Now, what is the advice? What is this? What is the advice for justice, terms, manifesting? You need to know that a wish fulfillment is on the way. 9 of Cups here. This is a card of being fulfilled, of wish fulfillment. You know, somebody tried to, definitely something happened here where you could have been like in a situation where you had to be passive, maybe felt sacrificed or betrayed in some way, shape, or form. Definitely had to do with money, wealth, and prosperity. You got the shorter end of the stick in court, in your life, in some way, shape, or form. However, all of this alchemizes though, and to be quite honest, you actually won in spiritual court here. You do have a wish fulfillment. We have rewards coming in. Why the 9 of Cups here? For advice for the collective on justice, hoping. Justice, hoping, working out. 8 of Coins, patience. Yeah, all of this is actually alchemizing to new money, wealth, and prosperity for you. So this could have actually represented, say, an old timeline. All of this alchemizes to new money, to new wealth, higher love, higher joy, all of these different things. Okay, so have patience with this card of hope, faith, and trust, and having patience because everything does work out for you. But I will be honest, there's a situation, past, present, or future, it doesn't go in your favor and it looks or feels as if it's not going to work out for you. But it truthfully does. You actually end up winning in spiritual court and getting a wish fulfillment in life. Okay, there's a blessing on the way. So that's what I have for you. I do hope that it resonates in a positive way. And what do we have for the Lux Collective today? What do we have for justice, terms, pursuit, and hoping? Dharma. We do have Mary Magdalene, the teacher awakens. Mary Magdalene can resonate with you. We do have Dharma unfolding. Remember that you're on a path, okay? And then taking one step at a time. You know, and again, there's like brand new everything here. I do see by the end of this reading, there's new money, wealth, and prosperity. It almost feels like, again, this is like an old timeline, though, of money, wealth, and prosperity clearing, kind of clearing out old money, bringing in new money. And I do see that you're happier by the end of this reading. I'm going to grab this deck. What do we have for the Lux Collective? What do we have for the Lux Collective? Advice for justice, terms, chasing, and hoping. This reading was meant to open your third eye and to clear illusions. We have joy. Okay, so be in joy. We do have illusions. So third eye opening, clearing out the illusions that you feel like it's not going to work out for you. The big picture is it actually really works out for you. And it feels like Spirit's just saying of like, hey, be patient because this is not the end. This alchemizes to all of this. What are some final messages for the Lux Collective on justice, terms, hunting, and hoping? What do we have for justice, terms, hunting, and hoping? Yeah, it feels like this situation too. We have illusions here, secrets. We do have boundaries, no. And then we do have distance, separation, space, and blockage. With the illusions over here of secrets and then boundaries. And then we do have shedding light over here, truth. And then separation. Blockages are cleared, you know, where this situation, it feels like created illusions for you that like, whoa, this is not going to work out, this or that. Now, why do we have boundaries here? Letting go. Yeah, there definitely was some sort of situation. Now, it did say passivity, like being too passive or a sacrifice. Was there a situation that you felt like your boundaries were overstepped to the point that you just had to walk away? That's what this looks like over here. And it feels like it opened your third eye, though, to, and let's see what this is. You have confiding over here. You have bonding, okay? And then you also have only you, observing you, watching you over here. And then foundation, established family security. This revealed a lot about your own foundation as well. It feels like this was almost karmic fate here, okay? And as these illusions clear for you, as truth comes in for you, these blockages actually clear. You know, so this could have even felt like an attack. This is the road opener that brings in everything for you. All right, so that's what I have for you. Then we do have time, okay? Be patient, because it does feel like time is of the essence. It says needing time, you know, so have patience. It does say now is not the time. Okay, so even if this is going on past, present, or future, you need to know that everything really does work out for you. All right, that's what I have for you. I do hope that it resonates in a positive way. I'm sending you all so much love and so many blessings to your day.